More or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Maul or Nothing with Ryan and Max. And later on the show, we'll be joined by recently crowned Rugby Championship winner, also a reigning Prem winner and a World Cup winner. That's the kind of person that we bring you, Tommy du Toit. In just a moment, the Springbok superstar prop will be with us. First things first, boys. How are we doing? Ryan, why are you having a disco up in your son's room?
I want anyone that recommended TP Link to come out so I can abuse them, because as you will see, we start off in the outhouse, which has the TP Link, the internet. Max thinks I should go Starlink. I'm doing it. I don't even know what it means, but if it gives me good internet, it gives me good internet. That's what I'm here in my son's bedroom again, playing with flashing lights.
Yeah, that's it. Starlink, baby.
Starlink.
My day was all right, Mark. It was fun. I managed to throw up some big tin in the Temple of Tin. I also had David Flatman and Austin Healy down at the club today, doing some stuff on TNT. So that was funny. They were like running around and doing like fitness challenges and all that jazz. Had a great chat with Dave about all things literature. It was actually quite fun.
And Joyce been in touch by any chance?
Oh, mate, tough. I actually, you know what?
Wait, come on.
Okay, so we've done the short because of the last episode. I asked Marc Edwards. Well, I didn't ask. I sort of made a statement that Joyce was one of the greatest athletes that I've ever played with, despite his physical kind of strange flaws. It then kind of devolved into just a complete shithousery, and we just insulted the man. I think Mac even said he's got nothing going for him. And I would like to redact everything we said in that statement.
I had to Google scoliosis. I started looking at people with wonky spines, and I was like,
"Yeah, it's a medical ailment. Yeah, it's a real thing, Ryan. He's actually got it." And so did Usain Bolt, by the way. But anyway, that's digressing. I'd like to redact our statement. Mac, we went too far. Joyce, we love you dearly. But yeah, he got in touch with me. He goes, "What you said was fine. Mac, too far." But that's okay. So I was like, I felt like that was all right. But
guys, go check it out on our Instagram. The clip is brilliant because at the top you've got Joe saying, "Oh, you've got to be thick-skinned as a rugby player," and just everybody else piling
true words.
His wife trying to help.
I was going to say, even his missus is waded in there as well. Even his missus is.
Yeah, she's actually laughing emojis. So I was like, it's just oh my god, laughing emoji. I was like, this, thank Christ, Lauren's happy with that. You're right though, Ryan. That sentiment of you need thick skin to play this game. It's mate. They will test your metal. They will test your metal to establish what sort of integrity as a man you have. It's a fascinating sort of element of human psychology and things like sport and in the military and stuff.
It is so true. You would not last long if you didn't have thick skin in rugby. Guys, that's why you see blokes that move club a lot, because they just can't hack it.
Yeah. People were being mean to me at work.
Let's start. What we should do is create a list of players that have been at loads of different clubs and start working out, shit bloke or good bloke, thick skin or thin skin.
Job for our research team.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Hashtag be kind. I tell you, someone that does have thick skin. I was with him yesterday, boys. I did some filming for Scrum to Scratch. Henry Pollock.
To be fair, he has to. You're right.
Because he gives it so hard.
Exactly. He must get so much. You've got Jalibert in like French podcasts, French articles coming out saying he's like the quintessential kind of Englishman in terms of this shithousery. And I was just like, are we that kind of race? I always thought the French were that race.
Look at that.
It's like that. It's like that Spider-Man meme.
But no, he genuinely, he was brilliant, boys, yesterday. It was so good. So, and some of you might have seen on the YouTube channel, the Andy Powell episode is out now. So if you haven't already seen it pop up in your feed, go and watch it, because wow, I'm looking back at it. I'll be honest, I barely remember Australia. Okay. Because maybe I was intoxicated most of the time, but I barely remember that round in golf as well with Powley. and there's some hilarious things in there, from golf buggy crashes to chasing kangaroos to the bulldog. Find out what that is, but yeah, it was good fun. So give it a watch. But Henry Pollock yesterday, good boy, and he's back this week. Do we out his new hair thing that he's? Can we? Shan't we?
Maybe just leave it as that. He's going to come out with some follicles that are orchestrated in a very fruity kind of way. And
there we have it.
Just leave
That's all we need. That's all we need. Just keep an eye out for his new hairdo. So and also keep an eye out for the Henry Pollock episode. But it was good. It was good entertainment, boys. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Jack the lad. Your kind of guy.
I said to him openly, I said, mate, when I saw you under 20s and the way I couldn't stand you, I wanted to hate you. But there's something about him. He's just a nice.
What
bloke.
is he, the starry-eyed man? What's going on there that you like about him?
He's genuinely a lovely bloke. Like the way he chats to everyone, and just I don't know. Best. Should I tell you the best thing of all though? And I can tell that this is so private school, right? I've turned up at Woburn Golf Club, and the Wilson name doesn't have a huge amount of pull. I mean,
there's no political clout. There's no Lord Wilson. Yeah, got you.
So when I get down to Woburn, it's like Anyway, I said, listen, we're going to play Woburn Golf Club, very posh place. He went to Stowe.
Henry Cavill's school, very good. Yeah.
Superman. Yeah.
So listen to this. We arrive, and on the tee sheet, it's Lord Henry. And now we're trying to. Is this a piss take? Like, producer Jim is there actually, and he before I had put Lord Henry down. Turns out his mate is the Earl of Bedfordshire, whose dad owns the golf club, and Lord Henry had signed us on for me and Henry Pollock. I was like, hold on a minute, how private school is that? That's very
good. That's nice.
I just tried to drop Mark's name. I was like, "Oh, Marc Edwards, do you know him then? If you're Earl of Bedford, you'll know Marc."
The Asian Chineseness kind of brings down the poshness a bit. So I sort of just sit on a different floor to that sort of thing. Shout out also to our sponsors, NordVPN.
Oh, I can go
let's
purple.
Not forget. Yeah, let's go. Different colors for the big gang at NordVPN. NordVPN.com/Maul. You get yourself 4 extra months on the 2-year plan if you use our coupon code MAUL. Do that. Get involved. Was particularly useful over this weekend. No, just for watching the Rugby Championship over on Stan. And then match of the day,
the NRL final, the Bronx,
the NRA,
getting it done.
Yeah, exactly that. You need a VPN. Don't deny yourself the ability to travel around the world and watch whatever you would like to watch, or from the comfort of your own bedroom in the UK. You can use that for safety purposes.
You know what? A lot of our listeners, a lot of our viewers throw in their comments. They love it. They love how we are promoting NordVPN. So keep doing it. Jump in there. Actually, let us know if you bought.
Fight the social.
Let us know if you bought it. We'll give you a shout out because how brilliant, because it helps us.
What was it for?
All right, because my obviously I had my wrist guard on for when we did the jumped on for the Steve Diamonds sack today, and the comments were one of the lads was like, "Ooh, Marc overusing NordVPN there."
Very good. Very good.
It is very good. Where is the? Can we see? How's the wrist? How is the wrist?
It's actually be all right. Well, it's because I've woken up because it's obviously 3 a.m. here, so I've woken up a bit. I don't wear it in sleep because it's too tight. So it's all right. It's better. Better than last.
We wouldn't want you to do that now, would we? You might roll over it and break it again.
Also, boys, the most classic. I
don't wear it to bed. Oh my God, this is unbelievable.
The most classic kind of like difference between boys and girls was taking my son down to for his rugby training on Saturday morning, and I'm wearing the wrist guard, right? And the first two, I start talking to these mums whose sons are in the same team, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Have you hurt your wrist?" Both like really nice, and no joke, a lad I know just walking slowly, doesn't even really, just goes wanking, and just literally walked on. And then every lad was the same. Went like literally, it'd be like one lad would be like, "Oh, did you sit on it trying to make it go numb?" And then and then you're like, "Guys, just please, no, enough."
I actually can't believe you wore it out. Like you embarrassed me.
You were like, yeah, I need this. I'm going to need this just in case.
What were we saying? Thick skin. If you turned up with that to rugby, Max,
my.
Is it really?
He's coming. He'll have come into the club with a grade 0 wrist, and he's like strapped it up like that, like he's going rollerblading. Mental. You would be thrown to the dogs.
Amazing! It is incredible how our sponsor NordVPN leads us into this sort of debauchery of talking about, but. That is so good, boys.
Big shout out to everybody for all the comments that have been coming in. Last week's actually our winners were about the terrible research that was done overall. So
it's a big strap operation at times. Got a lot going on down in Singapore.
There's a lot of people slagging Marc off.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Incessant.
The other one, people just loving the fact that we just try to like mess you up and you trying to keep us on course. A lot of people saying it's like low-key bullying, but we all love each other here. We all love each other. Oh, hold on a minute, producer John, I haven't got it up. Hold on, wait there. I'm going into the I'm going into the comments because
this is the most obvious burner account.
Wait. Here he is. So, out of all the comments, there is a bloke in there called Hermano Sorcicini de Valto Forte 4905, who is clearly a burner account of producer Jim. Well, for what it's worth, Jim actually has done a decent job editing it. So, whoever you are,
Hermano Jim, who's currently editing this one.
Jim, you can't just start creating false accounts and then commenting how good the edit is.
Just call it like A123478 rather than maybe let's make it sound like it's a Spanish guy, but kind of Hermano being my brother.
With perfect English. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. There is another segment. We should be creating false aliases and going and leaving comments in and seeing if we can pick up who it is. But yeah, keep leaving the comments. They actually crack me up.
Well, we are delighted to be joined by World Cup winner and even more importantly, recently Rugby Championship winner in the shape of Bath and South Africa prop, Thomas du Toit. Thomas, mate, congratulations. How are we feeling?
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me on this. It's such a privilege, being part of such an unbelievable team and teammates and everyone. And over the last couple of years, it's been really good, and I think we've been very privileged to play in this unbelievable game in this team and environment that we've been in. Grateful for all the opportunities and the trophies that come our way.
Thomas, I've got to start off because I'm the worst person. I'll just start giving you nicknames. You prefer Thomas, sure. Tommy, Big T?
Whatever works for you. Honestly, I think over the last 12 years, it's been close to anything that starts with a T. So whatever works is Tommy or Tank or Tom, whatever you want. Everything goes.
We'll let you get the excuse out now. You said you've obviously been back in South Africa camp where English was put right to the back of what was needed. So you're worried that you're going to have forgotten half the words.
That's one. I think my vocabulary wasn't great from the get-go, but now that I haven't had to use English at all for the last 3 months, it's really taken a back seat in the way that I speak. So whatever comes out. It might be completely wrong, but I'm sure you guys will forgive me for that.
I was always quite naive to it until I had South African coaches come in, and Franco Smith, for example. He's actually he's fluent in Italian. English is like his fourth language, I think it's something like that. So when he was up in front of the boys and he couldn't get the word out, and I'm what really? But it's Afrikaans, isn't it? Afrikaans is your first.
So I'm Afrikaans, and I grew up Afrikaans. So we speak Afrikaans in my household. We speak Afrikaans to our kids. They reply in English, funny enough, but. So we fully Afrikaans, and like I said, for the last 3 months. it wasn't really a big need for English because most guys in camp understand Afrikaans, or if they're not Afrikaans, they understand it very well. So I always joke about people. In Afrikaans, you have a word called brei, which means I can't say the letter R very nicely. In English, you can't hear it, but in Afrikaans, it's quite prominent. And when I go back to the farm in the Western Cape, it's like I can't speak English and I'm braying so much more. Now, all of a sudden, although I've just gone back for a week or so, it just, you're 100% right. You completely forget it, and you start forgetting to use words because you obviously don't use it.
We only know the bad words, don't we, Max? We only know the bad words. I don't want to say Franco Smith is not happy when I say some of the words that the boys have taught me in the past. Josh Strauss was a terrible influence on my Afrikaans.
Really? Oh my God! I won't let you repeat whatever he taught you.
No, I won't. I actually won't.
Thomas, you're talking about the Afrikaans, but also on top of that, probably after the celebrations that we had over the weekend, I think the brain's a bit slow overall anyway. Talk us through them.
Yeah, listen, good celebrations. Went deep into the night. It was brilliant. It was really, really good. So really enjoyed it. I think some guys went so deep into the night that they saw the sunrise the next day. So that's the type of celebration you want to have. I think the important thing is sometimes you need to pinpoint that memory and that occasion, and people just handle it differently. But I think it's special that you can celebrate in that way, and really pinpoint that moment in history that we won this trophy. And I think it's special, and I'm glad we celebrated it.
Max, I thought you were putting your hand up to ask, but you've got to ask who went the deepest, who went the longest. Because I've seen a couple of clips of Rassie still lying on the floor in the morning. It looked like he'd given it a good go, but come on.
Yeah, I've got no idea who lasted that, because I don't last that long. I've got no idea who was there up early in the morning, but from some of the videos that I've seen, I saw the sun in the background. So, if you're the person who's connected to the sun in the background, then you must know they must have had a long night.
Yeah, I've had a few nights with your boys, the likes of Malcolm Marks and those lot, and Big Dwayne. I've seen Dwayne's going for the old hair implants as well. You've seen that, boys?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know where he was, but he's put out a social media clip. Guys, this is it. I'm going for it. He's going for the plugs. He's going for the plugs.
Listen, don't really have a big opinion about it. I would say I'm glad that he's getting it. If it's going to benefit him, if his wife is going to be happier about it. I don't think that it bothered him that much. But yeah, it's definitely. You would agree with me. It's definitely grown over the last couple of years.
Hey, what, his hair? No, but
no, the bald spot has grown.
The penalty spot. I'll tell you what. Can you imagine the comments from all these people? We finally got Thomas de Toit on, like World Cup winner, etc., and we're talking about Dwayne Vermeulen's hair. Ryan Wilson is a busman. Don't.
Listen, you would be called quite a few things.
Mark, get it back into rugby quick.
Yeah, let's get so let's run through with. Obviously, it was a very tough game, real battle with the RGs, so much on the line, and the championship as a whole really coming down to this last weekend in what has arguably been the best rugby championship of all time, with all four teams in with a shout. Essentially, how was it for you guys in terms of pressure going into this final match?
I would say this team has probably been involved in so many finals and very important matches, and if you lose, you are type of matches. We've got such a. I mean, we all know the story, but everyone in that group is such experienced players. They are World Cup winners, so the pressure is definitely there, but you've probably got a lot of people and a lot of experience that know exactly how to handle that type of pressure. So, the good thing for us is we handled it like a final. The week felt like a final. There was a lot of hard work put into it, but also just enough so that, we know we're kind of finding that balance of knowing that it is a final that we're playing in, and then also not overthinking it too much, and being our own worst enemy. So the group has a lot of confidence, and I think it wears off on the youngsters.
And again, you guys you look now at that record of obviously back-to-back World Cups and now back-to-back Rugby Championships. It's obvious that kind of permeates through the group. And does that, talk to us about the impact that comes from the top with how Rassie kind of filters down those ambitions for you guys?
Yeah, I think Rassie's got a unique ability to get the guys up for every single game, and making us understand, the importance of the next one. And I always tell people that we are trying to put every match we put into its own block. Every week we put it into its own block, and for that week we've got the emotional side that comes with it. It's not, you don't try and look too far into the future, but you also don't look too far backwards, like the first couple of games that we lost. So Rassie's got this unique ability to get the guys up, for emotionally now speaking, for every week. And I don't want to say it's a theme, because it's not. We don't have like weekly themes and stuff. But for us, we find it important to play as well as we can to win these big things, so that we can put another arrow in our quiver, or another, what do you call it, badge on your belt, for this team. And I think the thing that stood out for me this time was, with the uncertainty of the Rugby Championship in the next couple of years, and when we're going to play this again, this would probably be the last time that this group looks so similar in a Rugby Championship. So we also kind of built on that, which was quite special, and we did it for each other. So I find it a very special game, and I think everyone really enjoyed it.
Because you look through that team at the moment, and people saying, "Oh, you talk about the youth coming through," but you're so right. Like, you look at the average age of people in there. Yeah, it's around 30 odd, I'd say. You've got Bongi and Bonambi, who's 34, maybe kicking a bit, but Epsabeth, who's been there and done it. But that tees you up so nicely, I think, for the next World Cup. Like, people thinking, oh, maybe they're getting too old. But you mix that with a little bit of a Sasha Feinberg and Gomazulu or something like that, who then starts to feed off that.
I think the distinction that you kind of need to make is, or that you can make, is the difference between the forwards and the backs. Because on the forward side, you've got, an older prop would be considered experienced and be in the prime of his life from this like 28 upwards age, and you consider those guys to be, aging like a fine wine, and you would go, these guys are actually, they are experienced, but they've done it, but that's good experience. But then you've got our youngsters, our, call it, less experienced guys, but also very experienced when it comes to winning World Cups and winning important matches in the back line. Now, yes, they are definitely young, but if you look at the two separately, we've got forwards that are a little bit older, but we consider those experienced. And then you've got backs who are actually relatively young, but also with a lot of experience. So, I'm feeling that there's a very good balance between the two. It's not, if you look at the whole group, yes, I would say the average age would be probably right up there. But if you take that distinction, you go, well, the forwards are now what we would say experienced, and our backs are actually quite young and excited and full of energy. That's kind of like a different way that we see it.
But how has it been? Because a lot of the talk has been around how South Africa are trying to impose now a more expansive, he's the ultimate innovator, and he's creating this team that isn't just using the traditional strong points of, a very big grizzly South African pack doing all of the hard work. And yet now kind of blending in this attack-focused, expansive, you scored the most tries, these young, exciting new players. Has that felt different for you, particularly as a propper in the forwards? And have you felt that kind of slightly different style coming in now?
Yeah, it's difficult to say if it's a different style, because it's not as if we didn't practice these things years ago or didn't want to do it years ago. It's just maybe it's a little bit more prominent now. But what I would say is, from a forwards perspective, we needed to lay a foundation for how the Springboks were going to play. And unfortunately, those, call it fancy things that the Bokks do, that a bit of an expansive game that we can now play, has to come off the back of, a solid scrum, a good line-up ball, a good line-up contesting to get the ball back, and all those type of things. So for us, it was, as speaking from a forward and a prop perspective, we need to lay a foundation first. And then once that foundation is laid, and that's been laid over years, not a couple of games, that's years and years of building this pack. That allows our backline to be a little bit, I don't want to say free, because they are free, but they're within the system. So, I think for the guys, they are just really outliving their passion, and they're really outliving their emotion and their everything that makes them them. So I think it's very cool that we've got a system now that allows players to be themselves and just show their identity on the field.
That is the thing, though. For me, South Africa, maybe New Zealand a little bit. I think you're the only two that know exactly the way they want to play. They've got their foundation set. Like, now, the Springboks set piece, they've got that right, and they've got the backs now that throw it away. You've got the Englands who, they've been in a bit of a transition, but they don't really know how to play. Like, even Scotland, like, sometimes you're like, how are Scotland playing? There's always a question mark. Oh, what is their brand of rugby? Whereas I've always felt like, I don't know if it's because from the beginning, you look at the size of the forwards. It's like that is what they do. They go up front, set piece, and then when the backs want to go, they go. But they can play pragmatic. Like South Africa, for me, have always had their identity. Whereas there's a lot of teams still international that you still look at them and go, well, I'm not sure. Australia, not really that sure at the moment. France is probably another one that likes to throw the ball around, but they're trying to change. So it probably helps you along the way. I'm just looking. I'm just looking at the team from the weekend there. And there's some serious ballast in there, and there's a lot of caps in there as well. The only guys that probably don't have that many, you bring someone like Wessels in, mate. What was he like at the end of last season?
Yeah,
I've never seen a man like it. I can't believe he's a prop or a hooker.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a proper hooker.
He's a loose head. I must pick
Loose
my
head
words
lock.
carefully now. He's a
Loose head and lock.
He played lock. He played a lock at school, and then but he's at the Springboks, as far as I know, and from as far as I've seen, they use him as a loose head and a hooker. So I'm not sure. I think he played most of his games at club level for the Bulls. He played at loose head, but then he had a couple of games on hooker. But he's such a phenomenal athlete. He's just one of those guys that you want in the team. He just, wherever he fits in, he must just be part of the team.
What's his darts like? Are they good?
Very good. Very, very good.
Very good.
Yeah, I reckon if he had to commit to being a hooker, he would. It's like anything that he does, he would just
gets
smoke
it.
He's just really good.
That's frustrating. That's very frustrating.
Yeah, he's one of those players.
Yeah, one of those dudes, like head boy at school. Yeah. I did want to ask you something, Tom. With Rassie, would you say he's a coach first or a sports psychologist first?
He definitely does get involved in the coaching part of it, but I think he outsources the work phenomenally well. And I think that the coaches around him understand their roles in the team exceptionally well. So it's not like he wants to overtake anything. He doesn't want to overshadow anyone when it comes to the coaching part. But I think what he tries and do is he tries and link everything together, which I think is spectacular. There's no departments. Everything is just flowing into each other. There's not, if the defense goes well, then and the attack doesn't go well, it's not like, well, you stuffed up and you did well. It's it's a team effort, and we want to do it as a team. So we attack together, we defend together, and we exit together. We do all those things together. So I think what he's doing very well is he's linking things up as much as he can, and I think he's doing a brilliant job at it.
Tommy, just going with the Wessels chat a little bit, he feels like a really now archetypal type player in this kind of Rassie new blueprint of players can do almost anything. You think of, you can imagine Kwagga Smith sitting in the sense of, this whole idea that forwards and backs can be interchangeable because they can all do everything. I'm sure he loves you being able to play 80 minutes and, he wants you making 90-yard breaks and probably kicking goals if needed. But Has he asked you to do anything odd that you need to prepare to do in case something happens?
In terms of rugby, not off the field.
Big, yeah, it's a very big compliment, but I am not one of those players that can do anything. I can scrum, and that's basically where it is. But no, honestly, he hasn't asked me a lot in that front. Only thing that's probably strange is something that I started here with Bath is just a yellow card plan. So if a hooker had to go off and there was a line that had to be thrown in, I would be the guy who throws in for Bath. Well, that's what we've trained now for the last 18 months or so. And yeah, it just depends on who's on the bench. If there's a scrum that comes on, someone just needs to throw in the ball. I mean, it happens on the rarest of occasions, but if it had to happen, that's the only funny thing.
Sam Underhill, I swear he fancies himself at front end.
Listen, I think he thinks that he can throw very well. But I have seen him throw in. I've definitely seen better. He's definitely not the worst. But he's definitely not up there with.
So where did your experience from throwing in come? You just play all across the front row?
No, I actually got no experience. I just started training it about 18 months ago at Bath, just for the sake for that big what if something had to happen.
Who's coaching? Is Dunny coaching you that?
Danny is coaching me. Stevie Scott's coaching me. Richard Blaze helping me out a lot. Charles is helping me. So I'm out there with the hookers in the mornings. Just almost kind of killing time until training starts.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, sharp in the wet. Yeah, the whetstone. Good.
But I hope I've never scrummed down a hooker, and I hope I don't have to.
Yeah, on the cross, mate. It sounds terrifying, doesn't it? Just like, yeah, come on, boys.
Yeah, but it's
help me out here.
You reckon it'll be that? Will it be that hard, Max?
I just think I think you're relying because you're the epicenter of the whole thing. Because everyone's connected to you. If you think about it, Tighted and Lou said, you've only got like one lot, the hooker. But the hooker's got both props.
Yeah.
Both lots.
Max, I must say, I think the hookers make us believe that it's very tough. I think we would be able to
there is an element of that.
I don't think we'll be good, but I think we'll be okay there. I think we could stand there for a couple.
We could get through it. Yeah.
I
reckon we could, let's just sell it. Yeah. I know what you mean. Like fib our way through it, kind of. Just push really hard.
The thing is, no one other than the hookers actually experienced that. Like a Lou said would go, like I've experienced a scrum, lock and go. I've been in the oven there, but only a hooker's that specific role. So, yeah.
The only thing that makes me think it'd be difficult is that trigger foot, like knowing how to get over that front leg. That does look like there's some tech.
Honestly, don't think I've got the mobility for that.
Yeah.
I would stay away.
If Dunny's doing it, anyone can do it. We just need to figure out the timing.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Foot. Yeah. Bath celebrating, bro. Your season at Bath, record try scorer. That was mental, wasn't it? Where'd that come from?
Super weird.
Did you have that prolific sort of streak at Sharks as well?
No, not even close. Not even close.
Fascinating. So you really just came into. So what do you like about Bath then? Because clearly it suits you.
You know what? I think there was a good amount of honesty that came with coming to Bath, and I think they literally just told me, listen, you are not good when you shouldn't be on the wing, for instance. You should, in general play, don't stand on the wing, don't carry the ball in the middle, just clean, do your job, do what you are told. But then when you get 5 meters out, maybe get your hands on the ball or try and be in that position more often than not. And so I think that was, I think my total meters for the tries is probably 1 meter for the 20. I mean, most of my tries go 10 centimeters out or 20 centimeters out. So it's not really spectacular tries, but I mean, like I say, they all count the same, right?
Mate, you did have a couple of run-ins, don't lie. There was a line break or two in there. I remember. Here and there, you dabbled. You did dabble. But yeah, fair play. You are, pick and go savant. Fair play. Mate. So talk to me about the celebrations and all that.
Oh, that was brilliant. You're talking Bath celebrations, aren't we? The obvious standout is just taking that trophy tour, the bus tour through Bath. It was There's something I've never seen before. You know, in 2019, I missed my opportunity to go on the bus because I went back to Toulouse for that period where the Springboks went on the trophy tour. But honestly, that was completely mind blowing being in Bath and seeing tens of thousands of people being out there and really supporting. And you know, that's the interesting thing for me in the Premiership and with Bath is always make the distinction between what a fan is and what a supporter is. Um, you know, we always see you see a lot of fans that would come and support when you know it's nice outside and it's the team's winning and those type of things. But then you get a real supporter, like my neighbor is a real supporter. But you see loads of those at Bath, guys who like last week stood in the rain for a good couple of hours and they didn't move. You know, halftime we see pictures of the rain pouring down and everyone's just standing there. Everyone is not minding it because they want to watch Bath play and they're real supporters. So, you know, having those guys come out and at that trophy, just showing them those trophies, it was spectacular. It was, like I said earlier, about pinpointing a moment, a memory in your life. That was definitely one that I'm going to remember.
Tommy, you've played against Max a few times. How have the matchups been?
Yeah, I think it's been a couple of tough games. I remember I played Lucid once against you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, at our place.
Yes, but then we played. I think you played that game as well when we played SAA.
Yes,
at Bristol,
I did.
right?
You were playing Toit. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So yeah, we've played a couple of games. I definitely came off worse than you because I think most of those games you guys won, eh?
Yeah, we except the one that counted, old boy. Yeah.
You said it. You said it.
But yeah, mate. Yeah, it was a hearty rivalry last season. Yeah, it manifests more in the born and raised. So like Tom Duns, the Ellis Genges, the sort of James Duns. There's a real kind of patriotic sort of heartstring there, and when you see it manifest, it's quite something. I always enjoy it. It's very inspiring, and you kind of feed off that as well. Especially seeing as I'm from like Southeast London, but then being in the West Country for this long, playing professional rugby, it kind of becomes like sort of part of you. But yeah, it's been fantastic. It's always good crack.
Tommy, I've got a question for you. What do you think of props that look like Max Lahiff? Like, because he's been a good Afrikaans man who lives on, red.
There's loads of crazy Afrikaan men, bruh.
Hey, Max Lahiff, just let the man answer. It'd be nice to look at props. Or, when you're going after a game and he's got his top off, you're just like, no, men. That's not fair.
Yeah, Max, you're really giving us such a bad name, eh? The prop name, you're pulling it through the dirt. Actually, so I spoke to someone else the other day that said, like, why can't we have props that are big, fat, stinky anymore? Like, whoa, is that too much to ask for? Like, well, if you look at Max, he's complete polar opposite to that. But honestly, I've got an incredible amount of respect for that. I mean, as a professional athlete, I know how difficult it is to get to any kind of shape that you want to be in. If you're not happy with your own, and I think it takes incredible discipline. So no, 100% kudos to you. That's massive. You can't fault it. You can give it crap, but you can't fault it.
All right. So then, on that note, in the Springbok team, who is the biggest athletic freak?
Yeah, Hendrik is very, very to the top of that. Like, seriously, when I say he does most things, he can do everything. You will see that guy's work rate. He runs around like it's really impressive. But then I would probably throw in a guy like Hendrik and Esterhuizen. I think he's also, he's been given labeled this hybrid player now. But I mean, yes, he is also absolute freak. He's monstrous. I mean, you guys have seen him, and what he did in the Premiership was also spectacular. Every time he touches the ball for the Springboks, something happens. I mean, look at that carry he had when he scored that try against Bowden Barrett. He shrugged them off quite. It looked quite easily, but I mean, for a guy like him, it was probably quite easy. So yeah, I would say between those two, definitely absolute freak of natures.
Just whilst we're on a match against the All Blacks, obviously that record victory against New Zealand, proved to be decisive in terms of overall with the points difference. Was that one of the best matches that you've been involved in?
Yes, definitely. It was so nice to see everything linking up and just gelling perfectly. I know we use that word gel quite loosely, but it really felt like everything came together on that day. And as a rugby players and as coaching, everyone, you want that to work every week, but the reality of it is it doesn't. But in that moment, in that game, you could really feel like there was a shift. It felt like the game worked out also very well for us. So in the sense of we tried to nullify everything that they did in the first half. We really tried to work them as hard as we possibly can. And when our bench came on, they did such a good job at getting across the line and actually scoring with the tries. Coming back to that old foundation work, it felt like we did the proper foundation work in the first half, and then we just let loose in the second half. And the one doesn't come without the other. The flairness, the overall greatness of our backs doesn't come off the hard work that the forwards do in the first half, second half. So it really gelled well.
Is it still a bit weird though, right? As in, you have played New Zealand, South Africa played New Zealand so many times, and they're very rarely a second half that's that scoreline, that one-sided, where this is a giant of rugby that is being humbled. Was that kind of bizarre being in and amongst that environment?
Yeah, 100%. I think it was, standing. Well, I was sitting on the sidelines at that stage, and seeing this unfold in front of me was definitely a little bit weird. Really didn't think it was going to work out that way, because normally when that happens, we score 2 quick-ish tries. New Zealand would come back, and then there would be a close game again. And so yes, you're 100% right. It was a little bit strange, but yeah, the guys really played well. I mean, if you look at that second half again. The backs, I would say, again, forwards laying the foundation, but the backs really opened it up towards the end of that game.
I've got one question. Feel free to answer how you want to, because we love transfer gossip here. But you apparently turned down bazillions of rand from Bordeaux to head back to SA. What's going on?
Yeah, listen, if you want to exchange anything to rands, it definitely sounds like a lot of money. Because the rand isn't doing too well. But yeah, we did turn down the offer from Bordeaux.
It was a bazillion rand.
No, it was not. No, it was not. It was a very good offer. It was a very fair offer. I was extremely grateful for it, and I had the conversation with Yannick. We're looking more towards the future with us, like you guys see with the family, having them settled. Our whole life is in South Africa, so we're gonna miss this place unbelievably much. But for us, it's very important to take every day, step by step, and make the most of our time that we've got here. And I'm looking forward to the season with Bath, and I'm just gonna try and give everything like we've done the last couple of weeks, the last couple of years, just incredibly grateful for the support that I've had from the guys and from you on, and that's definitely something that I'm going to take with me back home. But yeah, over and above everything, it's a family decision, one that I made to the best for my family. So yeah, that's basically the long and short of it.
But was there a conversation then with your missus where you guys are like, look at the number though, and then we'll get a bigger farm. We'll get a bigger farm.
No, it doesn't. Show me another language.
Listen, you guys are 100% right. There was a moment where we thought, you know what, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna bite the bullet, go for it, 100%. We're not even gonna question it. We're just gonna do it. But then when reality sank in about the whole story, what had happened, we knew what the right decision was.
Thomas, let us whisper, you and I. Have you signed any NDAs in that new 360 league? Eh?
Oh man, Well,
So,
man,
you
can
know,
you believe this guy right at the beginning was worried about his English as well?
Oh, mate, you are a damn statesman, you articulate silver tongue.
Oh, listen, in fact, you won't believe it. Like when I was last year, we had the awards evening, and so Niall Annett, he gives me crap about my Afrikaans and English permanently, but now he's obviously moved on to Ulster.
Yeah.
He's coaching there, and I remember being on stage. I had an award for something, and I remember being on stage, and I said, "This award means more to me than I could probably articulate." And he absolutely freaked out for the fact that I knew that word, and I actually learned it in that week, and I had opportunity to use it. It was massive, massive.
That was me.
Well, thank you so much for
Awesome,
taking
guys.
the time to come on, and wishing you the best of luck all the way
Thanks,
through to
guys.
maybe a final against Bristol, let's say, in
Ideal
this
world.
time round. That
Ideal
would be quite nice. It's been a real delight having you on. So thank you for coming on, mate.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it.
Bye, boy. All the best. Good luck
Cool,
for the
man.
rest of the season.
In the third season of this epic podcast, this ridiculous podcast, we'd like to thank our sponsors from day one, the great people at Wolf Craig Distilleries. Their loyalty has not been undervalued. And Ryan would like to talk about one of their new products.
You can head over there. What is the website, Max?
wolfcraig.com.
They have brought out a beautiful 14-year-old deluxe blend triple sherry cask. I actually went to a lovely event the other night where Richard Patterson, OBE, the man that made it, talked about the bodegas in San Andres, wherever that is, that they've been distilling these beautiful, beautiful, mature notes. I had no idea what was going on, but it tasted bloody nice, boys. This 14-year-old, you can jump over to the website, which is wolfcraig.com, and it's only £95. So head over there. There's also a Maul or Nothing bundle you can get. So yeah, big thanks to Wolf Craig Distillers for being with us from the beginning and still with us.
Doggies up.
Right, let's move on to the Rugby Championship. So we've obviously had the South African take on that and that win over Argentina. Huge shout out, of course, to Argentina, who've been a class outfit. And really, it was a tight contest, that, boys.
Very tight, especially given sort of what happened last week. Off of the back of that Lions win, obviously, but then they had that England coming to visit them. I think they were very disappointed by that, and I think they could be very proud of this Rugby Championship campaign. Like huge leaps and bounds been made, massive depth's been developed now in Argentina, and I think they can really kick on now.
I'm trying to have a look at the World Rugby rankings because I'm liking Argentina at the moment. I think they're going to come over and do a bit of damage on tests. I think when they get over it, it's not as easy as it used to be.
Do you think there's an element where they are undervalued? The depth of their squad, where they all play, how good they are, how well they're coached, and just how strong of a team that they really are now.
Yeah, I think it's like I said to Big Tommy there. It's like their identity. What is their identity? There's a lot of, I almost feel like there's a lot of fucking around with the Argentina team. Like they don't have a stable 10. They don't have someone that plays 10 every week. It's always chopping and changing a little bit. They're still trying to find it. I think once they find that and they stick with it, they've got some unbelievable players that are playing rugby at some of the best places in the world. So, yeah, I think they are. I think they are undervalued. They are sixth at the moment. They're just behind England. I don't know how England are still fifth. I don't know how I've managed to bring this round to slagging off England either. But
that's completely move it on.
I think they're going to be dangerous Autumn Nations series, and they've arguably been one of the best teams in this Rugby Championship.
They're going to run over Scotland. I'm putting it out there now.
Oh,
They got Wales, Scotland.
Horrible about England.
Yeah, no,
Look
I'm
at that.
good. Wales and Scotland.
Keep it light, boys.
I think you boys are going to be their main target, genuine. I mean, England, there'll be some retribution, but I think
Who are they
Scotland,
playing against?
they got Wales, Scotland, and England.
I potentially think it could be 3-0.
That's not impossible for them. 100%. That's very doable.
Yeah, I think they destroy England as well. Yeah, you're right.
Look at that. But just,
Maybe.
I know I am, but what are you? Some of the most childish sort of prediction punditry that we've ever seen. Boys, the Wallabies versus the All Blacks. Close game, some standout performances, Max, though.
Yeah, Quinn Tupac stole the headlines. I think it's interesting now, though, for New Zealand, like Scott Robinson, obviously there's been questions about his craft, I suppose, if we want to put it out there. But I think he's been pretty consistent with who he's picking. I think he's building some good depth. I think obviously Richie Mwanga's coming back now. So that makes it very interesting because he's sort of been hard on the Bodie Barrett train in terms of who he's picking. D-Max featured a little bit, but what happens there? And will someone like Richie Mwanga galvanise this All Blacks team? But I think going by that campaign, I think the ABs can be actually reasonably happy, other than the huge record loss to the Springboks. That was alarming. But other than that, it's been a fairly good campaign and still holding the Bledders low, which would potentially could have been a bit of a banana peel. Then there would have been some serious signs of doom and gloom. But I think the All Blacks can consider it a success.
How do they do when they come over here for the Autumn Nations then? I've seen my old mate, Big Jim, predicting Scotland to beat them. I saw that on a social media clip this week.
No, I don't see that. I don't see that one. I think in the backs, I think absolutely that's a decent matchup. I'm fully for that. I think if New Zealand can pick the best pack they want to pick, there's a lot of explosiveness going on there.
But I sort of see where he's going because I saw the clip and he talks about if there's ever a time, whereas you feel like the All Blacks aren't as good as they always have been at the moment.
No, this is true. That is true. But
so if there's a time for Scotland to do it, it's sort of got to be now.
But guys, hang on. You say that. Why do you keep saying that they've been denied by basically one half of rugby to win the Rugby Championship? And we can all praise South Africa, which they've been amazing, but it's a points difference that meant that they've lost.
This comes back to what we expect. This is what we grew up with, Ryan. We are just being nostalgic.
Yeah,
Well, that AB's team, they're still that good though. It's just different faces.
It was just a question. How will they fare when they come up here, Northern Hemisphere? I think it'll be more difficult than you maybe think it should be for them. I don't know. I don't think they're firing as well as.
I think it'll be very similar to last season. Same sort of results. Maybe Argentina improving. I think Australia might still struggle, but we'll see. We will see.
Well, okay. Why? So you think Australia might struggle here in during the autumn internationals, despite if we just go back to the start of the Rugby Championship where they obviously
okay, all right,
and then could have potentially done the double on South Africa.
They're in a nice rosy spot, I'd say. They're definitely building something. Absolutely, they've blooded some guys like Hooper and stuff coming in, playing really well. If everyone can play. If they can pick their best team, I foresee no problems. I think they'll perform very well. But if you've got a fit Bobby Valentini, you got Hooper. Do I put Hooper over Fraser McWright? I think I do, lads. I mean, I do like Fraser McWright as a fetcher, but Hooper's been astronomical in terms of industry in the championship. He's been quite brilliant. And then I need to have Will Skelton in there, and Harry Wilson's been playing some good rugby.
So with that, do they beat England in their first game?
I mean, they did it last time, didn't they, Ryan?
Beautifully.
And I'd say the guy who robbed them is now even more kind of established than Max Jorgensen. He's looking very, very naughty. And then Suhaili's now really found his feet. He's been setting up highlight reels all Rugby Championship. So
he was a joint top scorer.
They can definitely do it. They can definitely do it.
I'm actually really looking after. Do you know what? After the Rugby Championship, I am very much looking forward to the Autumn Nation Series. I think it's going to be probably one of the most competitive we've seen. The way that the Rugby Championship's gone, I think tease this up for a fucking good old Autumn Nation Series.
Crash bang! I'm with you. I think it's going to be very, very spicy.
There we go.
Right, so moving on from the Rugby Championship, there was a lot of league action over the weekend, slightly more in the Prem than in URC, more around the fact that there was a lot of cancellations in the URC. Maxi boy, take us through the highlights.
I'll start subjectively with a bit of a low light for the men of Bristol.
My goodness, what happened there, my dear friend?
Turned up to a shootout with a knife. Yeah, it wasn't great. It was one of those games where it was just it was all sad. That start, and then I think obviously a few guys out, not the same sort of experience, but ultimately it was just, we were overwhelmed by that emotional intensity that Sarri's brought. And then on the back of that, there was just the physicality, which was spearheaded by like Big Red Kare up front. He was horrible.
Big Red.
And then Tom Willis was also doing his best impression of Godzilla, as I always say. But he was a real problem. And then but out of all this, I have to say it, there was a silver lining for me anyway. I was very happy to see Max Maynard's out there balling, as he always does. I wish he hadn't done it against us, but scored a brilliant try. And he looked his effervescent self, always in the right place, right time. Game IQ on point. He was looking himself. And after coming back from Achilles rupture, really, really pleased for him. But yeah, we just got to shake ourselves off and get up for Exeter at home this weekend, because those games happen. You know, sometimes you just come into it, you're a little undercooked, and you forget that the whole of this game's underpinned by physicality. And if you haven't got that, then you can get in a real pickle. It doesn't matter how elaborate or how intricate or how amazing your attack can be if you don't own the role. On the injury front of the Bristol Bears, I've not been in a team that's been this hit by injuries. Round 2 of the Prem, it's wild. So potentially Reece Hammett's out. I don't know just yet, but it's looking like
he didn't look good getting carried off down the tunnel.
I think TJ's okay, but we've lost Joe Jenkins, the centre, who was, I don't know if I can say that, but we have. It's going to come out anyway. So yeah, I'll add that. And then obviously we've got a list of sort of AJ, myself, but I'm on the mend, lads. Getting better, by the way, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling. It's finally sort of on
You
the
can
way
play in
up.
the centre, so we'll be
Okay,
fine.
nice. Exactly. Imagine me, Route 112, if I can catch the ball. But anyway, then we've got Game of Toit, which, goddamn, that's big. But yeah, the list goes on. Harry Randall, AJ McGinty, it's wild. It's absolutely wild, boys. So, but it is the game. But in better news, we've got the return of the mighty RG Santiago Grondona, Ben Alazade, and Pedro, the absolute cybernetic endoskeleton that is Rubiola, coming back to us. So hopefully they'll
They
keep
sound like all the A-listers that have been commenting on Jim's editing.
Yeah.
You just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm excited for those boys to come back and lend their sinew to the effort.
On that, Exeter coming to you, they tamed the Red Bulls.
They did.
Which again, like all this chat around Red Bull, we're all excited, but no, Exeter have gone and done the job on them. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed by.
No, just give it time. It's had a massive change. They've had Red Bull come in.
I'm over it.
They've got rid of Steve Diamond. The fanfare's still on. Just let it happen. Let it happen.
Brilliant.
Exeter are gonna, if they see Newcastle coming down like off the back of their last season, they are rabid dogs. So yeah, they'll be tough. Exeter's a team that pride themselves on sort of slowing the tackle down, being dominant in the collision. So, mate, just guts up. Just got to get amongst it. I think that's a good dress rehearsal, playing Sarries and then having them this weekend.
Talk us through though, Max, what the heck happened between Northampton and Gloucester? The flavour of what was going on. 31-0 at one point, is that right?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Total 80. Hutchinson stealing their headlines. Apparently,
he got 4 turnovers. I think I saw
4 turnovers. Tries having tackle on Ben Loader, threw him into Rosette. Bloke was just he was feeling it. He was feeling it. He looked class. And then I have to give it. I know it was getting put everywhere with social media, but watching Afo for Sogban come off the right and then swan dive it in was quite a sight, because he is a big fellow, and it was just very theatrical. But sadly, the Gloucester fight back wasn't to be, and I think in lots of ways they deserved it. But yeah, Hutch, incredible effort. Cole's playing very well. But yeah, Saints still, they're looking. It's a bit weird, like that draw. I mean, if that pass had been forward to
what happened? Because the second half was just madness, wasn't it?
Yeah, Will Joseph flying through like a scythe. Ben Loader was looking decent. Yeah, it was all over the gaff. They just flew back into it. But their Gloucester attack is looking like Lightfoot Brown's done a very good job there. The attack coach, they're very, very good. So guys like Atkinson, Joseph, Ben Loader lost the like, and then obviously Harry Ross Burns there now, and he's looking very good. So and they're pretty injured up front at the moment, Gloucester. So they can look forward to some guys coming back, some serious experienced heads in the Type 5 coming back and helping out. So yeah, Gloucester looking fairly good despite losing the first 2 rounds. I think they can be relatively positive. Just in terms of their roster.
Saints, though, getting their big guns will be coming back as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
in a bit. Let's move on to what happened to Quins, or whichever way you look at it. It's either Leicester's come back or somehow Harlequins managing to put themselves in a great position and then very much fading away.
Yeah, there was a sort of, with the Quins Bath game, there was a certain, you sort of knew it was going to happen. Like Will Evans was scoring this freak kind of fast and furious hat trick, but you could see Bath slowly sort of turning their temp up and cooking Quins. But this game, it didn't feel like that. I mean, there was a decent fight back from Leicester, but I thought Quins were going to have enough control to win the game. But sadly not to beat Chesham with just a lovely break down the edge and feeding Hassel Collins in the corner. It was a really good bit of skill. But yeah, man, Finn Baxter, very good again. Quins will feel a bit, that might have been quite a disheartening loss off the back of that, just in the fashion that they lost. But Leicester, fair play coming through. Solomon Ikata, my God, round 1, just front foot all day. He was really, really classy. Jeff Parling's first win. Quins just still looking somewhere for something. Man, it was a very good game though, serious game.
Bath then doing their own thing. What they have continued on that form with beating Sale as well. So thank you very much, Max, for the old Prem roundup. Let's move over to the URC with Ryan. And it feels like some of the teams that you know, the big result perhaps was Leinster now losing their second match in a row. I just want you to be analytical rather than overly happy.
Don't tee me up for failure. Don't tee me up for people to come in hot on me. Just because
wait, Ryan.
Go in hot. Go in hot.
Just because people are coming in hot when you don't know why Argentina are playing at Twickenham. It's not.
Ryan,
don't try and get me in trouble straight off the bat.
How many losses did Leinster have last season?
They only lost 2 in the URC.
Fascinating.
The whole season.
They've already lost the same amount as last season. That's interesting.
They put up a lot more of a fight with probably a weaker team this week, which is almost a bit strange, but it was some game. The Bulls it was forward and backwards. And ultimately the Bulls got the job done. We know it's just a tough old slog, isn't it? We know how hard it is going down there. We were in the studio and there was 2 or 3 times that Leinster managed to take the lead back and then the Bulls came back, and I think that's without Pollard. That's without some of their big names coming back. So yes, it'll be an interesting one to see what happens with Leinster. I don't think they'll be in trouble this week.
So Rome's not burning.
Nah, I don't think so. They've gone over with a pretty young, inexperienced team and been dealt to. So a lot better showing for Leinster this week. It started on Friday night though. Storm Amy wreaking bloody havoc. Boys, there was all sorts going on. I was meant to do Friday Night Lights, Edinburgh versus Ulster. That game got cancelled. It got moved forward and then cancelled because of the weather. Stormers then dusted up the Ospreys, which I think we all sort of expected to happen. But big news for our Saffers that are in it. What is happening with the Sharks? They obviously lost to Glasgow last week, and I was like, well, were Glasgow good? But then they go down to the Dragons, Rodney Parade, and only managed to draw and should have lost. They should have. The Dragons had the opportunity to slot a drop goal or do something. They were on the line. They've shit it a bit, I'll be honest, the Dragons. They should have pulled it back, put it in the pocket and knocked the 3 points over. I can't remember who the 10 is, but he needed to go for it. They should have beaten them. They should have beaten the Sharks. So go on the Dragons, the mighty Dragoonies. Who else have we got? What else have we got at the weekend? Yeah, okay, we'll talk about it. Will we? After Bulls, Leinster, Glasgow, Benetton. Oh my goodness, fellas. What is it? There is something going on. Benetton, right?
Yeah.
For me, I think they're a good team. We've always talked about it. They've got loads of cash.
No, we have. Yeah.
Menoncello, like they've got an unreal team, and they've got some outstanding back rowers. They got the Canono brothers. They got Negri. They've built something nice. They always do the business at home. I didn't know this stat, but last season I think it was only Bulls, Leinster, and Glasgow that have won a game over there. Glasgow have only beaten them once in the last 6 times they've gone over. So it's not an easy feat anymore. Franco Smith, I reckon, it's something they all get up for. They're like, here we go, he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. We need to give him the welcome. Yeah.
And it's like a game that they all just get up to. And you can just feel it the whole game. Glasgow played all the rugby in the first half, but you just know with these Italians, and we'll get on to the other Italian team in a minute, if they're in the game, there's a chance they just managed to strike back, and they controlled the whole of the second half. Glasgow capitulated a bit towards the end, like should have put the ball long, kicked it out. And yeah, you give a little inkling for the Benetton boys, and they've gone and had another big win. So fair play to them. Do you know what? They probably deserved it the way they managed to get back into the second half. Connacht Scarlets was postponed. Did you hear about this, Max?
No, hit me.
Cuffy is coming over to do the studio. He's got 2 games on the Saturday. Mate, he's got on the flight. He's gone from Wales to Bristol. He's got on a plane at Bristol. He's flown to Dublin, flown over Dublin, around Dublin, can't land in the storm. So then they've diverted back to Manchester. He's landed in Manchester, sat on the runway. He's now been on the plane, squeezy jet plane, for 10 hours with all of the Scarlet boys. Right?
I bet you Cuffy wasn't sapping either. Yeah.
Oh my God, wait till this. So bad that someone had a heart attack on the plane. 2 people had panic attacks and had to get the emergency service had to come on, take 2 people off. Then one woman has kicked off, almighty kicked off, tried to open. They're sat on the runway. She's going, I want to get off. I want to get off. She's trying to open the emergency exit to get off the plane. Rightly fucking so. He said that think 35 to 40 rugby players on this plane. The toilets have then filled up with shit.
No. This isn't real.
Mate, it was like he said it was like something from Final Destination.
Yeah, it's how
you can't. There's no food. There's no drink. There's no water.
Then the aircon broke. Is that what happened afterwards?
Next minute, the new staff have got on. The new air hostesses and pilots got on and gone, I'm not flying in this storm. No way whatsoever. So they're stuck in Manchester. So he's sat on the runway at Manchester all day to then have to stay in Manchester. So the Scarlets boys jumped on a bus, headed back. Gareth David texted me at 7 a.m. in the morning. He said, we've only just got back. Cuffy still had to come into the studio and run a marathon the next day. So fair play to him. So there's all the dramas there. That's Cuffy's tours. But Zebre, boys, Zebre have done what I predicted. I predicted it.
You actually did. You did say something, and I wasn't buying it. I wasn't picking up what you're putting down.
Last player of the game, the mighty Zebre Parma. I'm telling you, like Jesse, players like Jesse and Stavile. Go and have a look at this guy. They're fucking freaks. And I don't know how Zebre are keeping hold of them because they're superstars, boys. They're superstars. Yes, the Lions aren't the best, but they've gone and won it at the death again. 2 wins for Zebre, 2 losses for Leinster.
Yes.
URC. Who would have bloody thought it?
Someone's flipped the voodoo dolls. How good.
So there you are, my URC roundup. It's all hotting up. And this weekend I will not be doing anything because I'm heading to Dubai on Thursday for a little holiday. So I'll have to tune in from there, boys.
I feel like you just got back from like a month away in Australia. So
part of the deal was the Australia trip. Then I had to go on all over the family. So I'm going all over the family. Don't worry. So yeah, there it is. My URC roundup. You are welcome.
Very good.
Very nice. Very nice.
This week we are not doing our 5-minute segment of randomness because obviously everything's run on a little bit, and we did have the wonderful Thomas the Toit on. So a big thanks again to him. We are not doing the 5-minute segment this week. We will be back with that next week.
Give us more ideas. What would you like us to talk about? Give us some
things
you would like us to talk about. We really want to hear. There's been a couple, but we need to go back on there and I need to have a look and write them down.
Let's select next week's from
the comment section. So jump into the comments, let us know what you want us to talk about next week, and we will select something. Mark will put us together a little selection of what they are, and we'll pick one of those.
A smorgasbord of Maul or Nothing comments to choose from. Huge thank you, guys, to both of you. And a huge thank you in particular to Thomas du Toit for being such a wonderful guest and for coming on. And thank you again to NordVPN, nordvpn.com/Maul. Get yourself some free months, get yourself some free VPN. And we will see you all next week.
More or nothing.